Okay, let's try this again for the fourth time. So if you're joining this live stream right now, please drop a comment down below. Can you see me? Can you hear anything? This is now the fourth time. I apologize about this. I don't know what's going on. All right, anyway, let's talk about the information that is actually not even breaking anymore because it's taken me so long to get on here, but it did happen relatively soon here, and it's going to impact millions of millions of SNAP beneficiaries, food stamp beneficiaries, and what all this means that just came across the wire. Okay, anyway, let me tell you all the details here and what's happening for all these beneficiaries that are still in limbo right now. Millions of people across the country waiting for answers, waiting for deposits, waiting for money to hit their EBT cards. And again, this whole month has been an absolute disaster for food stamp beneficiaries, as we all recognize, and it's not over yet, unfortunately. Let me tell you what just happened. Okay. Now, if you received your full SNAP benefit for the month of November, and again, this is definitely not everybody, it's been some people, certainly not everybody, but if you got your full benefit for the month of November, you're probably in the clear, you're probably good. However, that was not the answer a couple days ago when they were trying to claw back this money. However, if you got a partial payment or if you received no money for the month of November, this is going to impact you, which by far, this is the bulk of the beneficiaries that are out there that have received either a partial or no benefit so far, okay? All right, anyway, so first off, let me back up a little bit, just a couple days now, to kind of give context as far as what just happened here, the announcement that just recently hit the wire, and what this means for food stamp beneficiaries. Okay, so on Friday of last week, you all know this by now because I talked about it, which was the Supreme Court got involved. They basically blocked the lower court order for full food stamps to be distributed for beneficiaries, right? So it was a 48-hour stay. When I say stay, I mean like a freeze, a pause, basically just holding it right there, okay? So stay right where you're at. That's what that was, okay? It was a 48-hour stay. That went until Sunday night. Sunday night, Supreme Court came back and extended the 48-hour stay until tonight, okay? So we knew that this was coming. This was no surprise, no shock whatsoever that we were going to be getting information out of the Supreme Court tonight. And I mentioned this in the live streams earlier today. I mentioned it leading up to this. We knew that this was coming, okay? Now, if the Supreme Court did not come in and do anything about this stay, it would have expired this evening, and then the administration would have been forced to follow the order out of the lower court to send out the full SNAP benefit for all SNAP beneficiaries, okay? That would have happened tonight. Here's what just happened. The Supreme Court came out and they extended the stay, otherwise, in other words, hold, pause, whatever you want to call it, for the distribution of full food stamp benefits for the month of November out until 11:59 p.m. on November 13th. That is Thursday evening, Thursday night, like literally, end of the day, Thursday is when this pushes out to. So basically another 48-hour stay on this, they're pushing this out. So what this really means is that, well, based on everything that's going on, they still do not need to pay full SNAP benefits, full food stamp benefits. So we're still in this position where we're still in a government shutdown. Yes, we are still in a government shutdown. I continue to see the headlines across the board all over. Many people out there suggesting, they passed it, opening up the government. No, still in a government shutdown as of right now. They have not reopened it yet. The Senate did vote late last night and passed it to pass the legislation to reopen the government, but it's not done yet. It's not a done deal yet. The House is going to reconvene, which they're apparently doing now, and they're going to be voting right away tomorrow to reopen the government, okay? But then remember, it's not even passed, or it's not even done then. The president still needs to sign it to turn it into law. So maybe if we're lucky, by this time tomorrow night, we may be in a situation where the government is reopened, okay? If that's the situation, then all of the money that food stamp beneficiaries need, as in the full SNAP benefit, the full food stamp benefit, can be distributed at that point. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of time, to be fair with you. It's going to take some time to get that money distributed to the beneficiaries. But as of right now, in this current government shutdown, which we are still in right now, maybe for only another 24 hours or so, possibly, we'll see about that. But until then, during this government shutdown, the Supreme Court continues to back the administration and say you do not need to pay out full benefits. Okay, so that's very, very interesting that the Supreme Court continues to come in and say this and back the administration by this, that they do not need to pay out the full benefit. Okay, so what do we do from here then? Well, then we'd have to go back to the partial payment that was approved by USDA and the courts a few days ago. Actually, it was about a week ago now, to be fair. It was about a week ago that the courts came in and they ordered USDA to completely deplete the $5.2 billion within the contingency or emergency fund, which they sent out. It actually ended up being $4.65 billion is what they had available. They already had allocated some of the money in there, so they had an extra $4.65 billion that they sent out and had available for states, so states should still be sending out the partial payment. Some states got the full payment, and that's where that whole drama came in over the weekend, where the memo came out of USDA and said this was unauthorized, you need to send the money back, and if you don't, you're going to be penalized, all that business, right? That happened over the weekend. We talked about it extensively. I'm not going to really get into the details here, because honestly, that's honestly old news now, right? And you know the whole story at this point. But anyway, considering we're still in this government shutdown, this is where we're at as of right now, which is no full SNAP benefits, which is kind of weird because honestly, kind of thought that they were going to let this stay expire tonight out of the Supreme Court, and which would have basically, well, called on the administration to supply and send out the full SNAP benefit. But rather, Supreme Court said, no, we're going to extend the stay. We're going to extend the pause, the hold, the freeze out for another 48 hours, out until the end of the day on Thursday. So that's what happens. Now, let's talk about another situation here, because I know that a lot of you here in the community want to know this situation, which is this. Okay, let's just say that they reopen the government tomorrow. Does that mean that the stay is still in place? Good question, because at that point, once the government is reopened, as in the House of Representatives votes on it, they pass it, assuming they pass it, and then it goes to the president's desk, assuming he signs it by tomorrow night, the government would be reopened then. In other words, it's fully funded at that point. Well, at least partially funded out until January 30th. But the food stamp program, the SNAP program, would be fully funded until the end of September of next year. At that point, the money will have been appropriated. In other words, the money is available. So at that point, then USDA can put the money in the proper places for the states to come and get, and basically say, here's how much money we need for the benefits for the beneficiaries in our respective state, and then they can request that money, and then it can go out to the beneficiaries. So long story short is this. If the government reopens tomorrow, which a lot of people are anticipating it will by this time tomorrow night, probably going to be reopened. If not by this time, sometime before the end of the day tomorrow is the anticipation anyway. If that does happen, just recognize it's still going to take time, because states are slow. USDA might be slow to get the money available for states to get. States will have to get that money. They'll have to send it out to you. All of that's going to take time. So realistically, I've been saying this for a while, by the time that the government reopens, it could still be multiple days until you get your full benefit. So if you have not received anything yet, which, by the way, there's a number of states out there that have not received anything. There's a number of states that have also received partial payments. If you've received nothing, then anticipating, assuming that the government reopens tomorrow, you could anticipate a full payment, well, at some point in the coming days. When? It's really going to be dependent on your state. How fast do they move, and how quickly can they get that money administered to you, the beneficiary? If you already got a partial payment, well, again, the same question comes in, which is, how long is it going to take to get the other portion of the payment? It's going to really depend on how fast your state acts and can get that money administered to you. So this is unfortunately not over yet. We probably have multiple days left of this, okay? I'm just being fair with you. Now, I want to point something else out really quickly as well that I think we also need to consider, which is, what if the House doesn't pass the legislation tomorrow? We're going to be still in a government shutdown. Nothing's going to change. We're going to still be in this government shutdown. Now, there's a number of people that are suggesting, oh yeah, this is for sure going to happen. They're going to pass it. No problem whatsoever. It'll for sure open tomorrow night. We don't know that. I've also been reading other conflicting information saying that a lot of lawmakers are going to vote against it and, basically say, no, we're not reopening this. We didn't get what we wanted. Therefore, they're not going to vote on it, and it's not going to pass. Only time will tell. By this time tomorrow, they will already have voted on it. According to what Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, indicated, the vote will likely be coming kind of like late morning-ish, maybe early-ish afternoon. We will see. I'll keep you posted on that. Anyway, want to give you this latest information here out of the Supreme Court. We knew that this ruling was coming to some degree. Either it was going to be a ruling to extend the 48-hour stay that was handed down last Friday, another 48 hours, which is what they did, in case you're just joining now, or the other option would be let it expire, force the administration to send out full benefits, which who knows what would have happened there. Because remember, the United States Court of Appeals just the other day denied the request to block the full benefit. They denied it. The Court of Appeals denied it and said, no, we are not allowing this rejection of the sending out of full benefits, right? They were basically forcing them to send out the benefit until the Supreme Court basically overruled that, because the Supreme Court, the highest court of all, rules all, right? So anyway, that's where we're currently at as of right now. So anyway, those of you that are dealing with this, again, I sincerely apologize that you're going through this, okay? I wish it was a better a system. I wish that there were better answers for you right now. Unfortunately, we're in this holding pattern where there's not a whole lot we can do other than wait. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. Thursday is also going to be another big day. I'll keep you posted on it. This is just what we know as of right now, okay? So anyway, if you're in one of the states that have received nothing, it's kind of weird, honestly, because you should have received at least your partial payment. If you have not received your partial yet, not really sure what's going on there, right? You should have received at least your partial payment. If you're in one of the states that got a partial, well then that's what you're going to get for now until we get further clarity on this, again, by reopening the government or the expiration of this hold, pause, freeze, stay out of the Supreme Court, forcing the administration to send out that full benefit. This is just where we're at right now. It's extremely frustrating. I get it, right? Anyway, I hope this helps you. And again, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for sticking with me on this. I don't know what the deal was today, but took me 4 tries to get this thing going. Messed it up the first 3 times. So anyway, I hope this helps you. Again, I will continue to keep you posted with any further information coming out right now. There's a lot of things that continue to happen. I know it's very confusing. I know it's very weird, but I hope this gives you the latest updates. Anyway, as always, drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Big subscribe button down below. I'll keep you posted. Again, I'm bringing you multiple videos, multiple live streams a day. It's a very, very, very busy time right now. By the way, I had a video this afternoon. Actually, it was a live stream. This afternoon, I had a live stream also talking about what the Supreme Court is doing right now in regards to the distribution of those $2,000 dividend payments announced by the president on Sunday, as well as doubling down yesterday. The president talked about that again yesterday, the distribution of the $2,000 stimulus check or dividend, as he's talking about. Check out that live stream from this afternoon. Very interesting details right there as well. But also, yet again, in the hands of the Supreme Court for the most part. Watch that. Supreme Court's got a lot of things going on right now. And a lot of it is impacting money for you, benefits for you, and your lifestyle, your finances, and just what we can anticipate going forward. So anyway, check out that live stream from earlier. Otherwise, thanks again for watching this. Please subscribe if you're new here. If you've not done so, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, thanks again for watching this. I'm doing this live stream a little bit differently right now. Generally, have my wife come in to help me out. I'm going to handle this one myself. So I'm going to say this. If you're watching this right now, you may want to click away now. I'm just saying, just because I'm going to unplug the mic and my phone's going to start talking and it's kind of annoying, just being fair with you. You can hang out and listen if you want to, but it's I need to figure out how to stop this, okay? So I'm just saying, okay? Anyway, have a nice rest of your day. I hope you are doing well. I know this is frustrating. I know this is tough. I'm going to do what I can to help you out during this time with all the information, just like I have been for multiple years. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned. I guarantee you we're going to get more information on this. Tomorrow's going to be a big, big, big day. Stay tuned. I'll keep you posted with all the information. Subscribe if you've not done so. Otherwise, please have a nice evening, and I'll see you again very soon. All right, so let's see if I can figure this out. Oh, here we go. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yeah. Cancel. Button. All right, see ya.